welcome to a horror console, your weekly podcast where we talk about spooks, frights, scares, and stuff that terrorized us during the week. My name is Crypt, and with me is my horrifying co-host and undead wife, Bloody Knives.
That is terrible. Terrible.
It was great.
We skipped this for 2 episodes. I don't understand why you're so hung up on having to do it now.
Because I completely forgot.
Yeah, same.
I completely forgot. And then I'm like, wait, didn't we do like some weird intro?
Yeah, we did.
To hammer home that it's horror month?
Yep.
It's horror month, by the way.
It's always really hard to come up with my name.
Yeah, I'm going to keep changing it every week. But it's probably going to be like and something else
every week.
Different.
Like we got so many more weeks left.
We got 2 weeks left.
Yeah, that's true. So we will, at the end, have done this for more than what we didn't do.
Yes.
We did 2 episodes without 3 episodes we'll be with.
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to say something and I completely forgot.
Just like we forgot to do this.
Yeah, we definitely
Yay
forgot.
us! Woo!
We're great. Oh, I remember. We shouldn't even call this horror month anymore.
It's Ito month.
Yeah, it's Junji Ito month.
And video game month.
Ito and some random game I pulled out of my ass and 2 Castlevanias.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah. Maybe next year I can do it all Castlevanias. Or all Resident Evil.
Next year, I don't think we're going to have enough Itos to do.
No, we still have a shit ton of Itos that we have.
That's true.
I was looking at the ones
Smash,
that we
got Shiver, we got Deserted, we got Love Sickness. Mm-hmm. We've got...
all the ones at the stores that I saw yesterday that I wanted to grab.
Yeah,
and I didn't.
Yeah, true.
I was looking through the ones that we have, and I'm like, holy shit, we have a lot that we haven't covered. Or a lot that I haven't even read.
We have a lot of Ito stuff.
Yeah.
A lot.
We love him.
We do.
He's so good at what he does.
For the most part.
For the most part?
Yeah.
I guess
there was just that one last week that was like, eh.
I mean, it was still good for me. Whatever. Hey, if this is your first time or your 114th time coming into the show, welcome. We're glad you're joining us for an episode of a novel console or horror console. We hope you stick around, have some laughs, and maybe find some new things to enjoy. If you want to reach out to us, you can do it on our socials, which is basically at a novel console on every platform. Or you can email us directly at anovelconsole@gmail.com. Or if you'd like to support us, you can do it at patreon.com/novelconsole. I forgot where I was reading. It was even the same sentence, and I lost completely where I was in that sentence.
Brain fart. Tell your friends to check out the show because every single listen and review helps. So please tell everyone. You can leave us a review on most platforms like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Reviews help us be more discoverable. We also have our own A Novel Console Discord, so if you want to join, send us an email or check out our Twitter and look for the pinned tweet.
Yes. Okay, so we got a couple of things to go over before we start the show.
And I got to crack open my drink.
Yes.
In my Bumble koozie.
Yep.
Because
the one that they said,
the one that
you're
Seth
married?
had to get for me because I was at like a job, not a job. It wasn't even a job fair. It was like some little
UCF thingy.
Yeah, on campus where like some people sell shit and other people try to give you a job. And Bumble was there and they were giving out little fucking grilled cheese sandwiches if you downloaded the app, and they had all this cute swag. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go tell them that I met my husband on Bumble. And they were just like, cool. But then Seth downloaded the app and went over and got me all the swag. I got some cute little sunglasses and this koozie.
Wasn't Seth dating someone at the time?
Yes, he was. They broke up a few months after that.
Oh.
Not because of that, but...
It was because of Bumble.
Sure.
I miss Seth. Seth was fun. Hey, so we have finales for this week. We had Rings of Power, She-Hulk. I have thoughts on a game that I DNF'd after 2 hours. So
let's start with She-Hulk.
Okay, tell me about She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Spoilers for She-Hulk for the next 5 minutes.
Yes. I was not a huge fan of this show overall. It was fun, but it wasn't something I actively look forward to every week.
I did.
I know you did.
CGI butt.
I don't know. It was just a little too goofy for me, but I guess that's kind of her vibe. It's kind of goofy, I guess.
I mean, a 7-foot tall muscle lawyer woman
Yeah.
that can throw cars into outer space.
But the finale was funny. I know you thought it was way funnier than I did.
The finale was fucking incredible. I absolutely loved. I actually want to know what Burger Champ thought of the finale.
It kind of irritated me that both of these show finales, they weren't longer episodes. Like, they wasted a ton of time on that bit with Kevin. The Kevin bit takes up a huge chunk of that 32-minute episode.
That Kevin bit
32
was
or 34.
fantastic. They...
but it's a really long bit for a really short episode.
I thought it was great because they're like, oh, nobody can talk to Kevin. And then it didn't click that they were making fun of Kevin Feige or Fiji or whatever his last name is until I saw like the little robot thing come down and it kind of had like his hat that he always wears.
So he's making fun of himself?
They were making fun of Kevin.
Who is he again?
He's like the creative director of Marvel. He's the guy that's in charge of like the projects and like the overseas. Like,
so he was making fun of himself.
He wasn't the director, so no.
Oh, is that whole team gonna get fired?
I don't know because it's all anti-incel, so maybe he'll look kind of incel-y if he does.
Oh dear.
I don't know. I thought it was great. I absolutely loved it.
It was funny.
They could have done without the whole Hulk thing at the end. I feel like that was too much.
That was fucking weird.
That was like tacked on.
And it wasn't realistic at all. Like, he just shows up at a barbecue. It's like, I got something to say. This is my kid.
Has like a grown-ass man as his child.
Yeah, who looks like he's like half fish or something. He does. He looks kind of like Victor Crumb when he took the shark head pill in Goblet of Fire. Do you know what I'm talking about at all? Didn't think so.
Yeah, that flew over my head.
Other people will.
Yeah, I'm sure listeners will get it.
Yes.
I didn't. But overall, I thought the show was very fun. I loved it. Loved Tatiana. Loved She-Hulk.
It was a nice little half hour every week.
Yep.
That was it.
So what do you think about scoring it?
Scoring the whole series?
Yeah, out of 10.
Out of 10? I give it a 7.5.
8, just because butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. CGI butt was.
It is really CGI'd. Really. Because I felt like Bruce always looks like he's there. She looks like she's not there.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I really did like also Abomination. The whole new
Emil part.
Blonsky,
Yeah.
The whole new age thing, and then at the end, like Wong fucking breaks him out.
Yeah, the Wong bit was funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was not bad. It's just, I don't know.
Oh well. Okay. Spoilers for She-Hulks are done. Let's move on to Rings of Power.
Yes. Oh, my husband is so mad.
I hate the show.
This might take more than 5 minutes.
This show is one of the worst things that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh my gosh. I said last night that I'm going to sit down. I'm not committed. This is not me committing to this. This is me blanket statement saying that I would like to do this, but don't know that I actually will do this. I want to sit down and read all of the appendices because I've only read like one book of appendices, and I think I was still in high school when I read it, aka it definitely went way over my head. I think I'm a little smarter now than I was in high school, and it wouldn't totally go over my head. Like some of those, I obviously have not finished my reread of the Silmarillion. I made it like halfway through. And then I never picked it up again, but it's okay. I didn't DNF it. It's still sitting on the dresser waiting for me to come back to it, covered in dust. It's covered in dust.
One of my coworkers told me that he wants to read everything. And he wants to start with the Silmarillion. And I told him, dude, you're going to give up. He's like, why?
It's like reading the Bible.
Like, dude, it's like reading the Bible. And my wife loves to read, and she loves the shit out of Lord of the Rings. And she had to set up, like, reading requirements.
5 pages a day
in order to get through it, and she didn't.
And it took me like half an hour just to read 5 pages.
Oh, man,
because it's
so
that
wild.
dense. And then like you can read those 5 pages and be like, what? What did I just read? What? Yeah. So I know that one set of untold stories.
So like.
But I said I was going to write an essay about how accurate the show was.
Can I make a comparison between the Silmarillion and food?
Sure. We're not talking about the Rings of Power at all yet. People are going to have to fast forward like 10 minutes.
Yeah. So I feel like the Silmarillion is like the most delicious fruitcake you've ever had. Because
Fruitcake!
it is dense as fuck, and it's not for everybody. But if you get into it, it's
But I
pretty
don't
good.
like fruitcake.
So, it's a comparison. It's not that it's actually fruitcake. Like, you don't have to eat fruitcake while reading the Silmarillion.
I guess.
All right, tell me about the show.
Okay, yeah, anyway, so this finale, once again, is not a longer episode, which it was upsetting because they had some little long-ass bits that they, as my father so eloquently said while we were doing our watch party, they're wasting too much time on this shit. He was so annoyed.
I was too.
Yeah, it needed to be a longer episode. I was bummed that we didn't see Durin and Disa again. But yes, apparently us. We went out with some friends to say goodbye to a friend who's moving away. And two of our lovely friends said that we remind them of Durin and Disa. When we're gonna cosplay them. We're gonna do them for Halloween next year.
I told Danny from Big DK Energy about Jen and Logan telling us. And he says, yeah, I can see that.
Do you think it's acceptable, like, for us to dress up as them since we are both, like, opposite races of them dressing up as them?
I mean, I can dress
Because I know it's a little more frowned upon nowadays to dress up or cosplay someone of a different race.
If you're white going into another color, it's bad. But if you're just like a color
so
going into white.
So it's bad for me. It's not bad for you.
So what we'll do is we'll cross.
Will you counteract? You'll be Disa and I'll be Durin?
There we
okay.
go.
You know, that would actually be really cute.
Yeah, I will shave.
Really cute. No. No, you won't. Anyway, you'll make her more accurate than she was, even though she did have her little patches on her. Anyway, we're not fucking saying anything. Okay, everything that everybody said was gonna happen happened. Everything. Halbrand to Sauron, everybody said that was gonna happen. I was like, no, he's not. He's not. But he was. And everybody said that the stranger was Gandalf. And I'm like, no, he's not. But he is. And it all makes more sense. Like,
when he said that one line of follow your nose to Fruity
when in doubt,
Pebbles or
always
whatever.
follow your nose. That's exactly what he said to...
no, it's not Fruity Pebbles. It's Fruit Loop.
He said it'd either Mary or Pippin.
It's Toucan
When in
Sam.
doubt... No, it's to...
Toucan Sam, yes, from Fruity Pebbles.
I thought you were saying he said
like,
it to
follow
Sam.
your nose to the color you know or whatever.
Oh, my God.
And she's like, oh, my God, that is fucking Gandalf.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it makes sense, I guess. Okay, well, Halbrand to Sauron makes more sense because he did have to be charming. He had many different forms. He had to fool all these fuckers into taking his rings and shit and falling for his crap.
Next season, are they going to put a lot of prosthetics on the actor, or are they just going to hire somebody else and make them an elf to go with Celebrimbor to do the rings?
I don't know. And
is the next season going to be like immediately after it, or is it going to be years after Durin's dad has died so that they can get all the mithril they need?
I don't know. I'm just trying to enjoy it.
It's hard for me to enjoy it because I hate a
Oh,
lot of the
and I
characters.
forgot fucking Isildur is still dead in Mordor somewhere. I forgot about that. We didn't resolve that part. Shit. So he's just wandering Middle Earth. But his daddy's got to come back and be the king. We also didn't get to see what happened when they got back to Numenor, right?
Nope, nothing.
Yeah, we know that the king died and that was it. Mm-hmm. They left a lot of open ends.
That girl that looks horny and worried all the time was...
The sister?
Yes, told to go do something. I don't fucking remember.
Yeah, to look at the Palantir. That was left.
Right.
Too.
That.
There was a lot of open ends. With the little things were left open. I guess it's good that they at least closed the big things.
Did they?
I guess, sort of.
What the fuck happened to Arondir? Where's my cousin?
Yeah, true. They're rebuilding the Southlands under the banner of their king, who is Sauron. Yay!
Oh boy, that's gonna be a shit show.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't know where the fuck they're going.
It was almost like, okay, guys, we gotta reveal Sauron and Gandalf in this final episode. Doesn't matter what we forget. And they forgot so many things. Mm-hmm. Primarily, Isildur wandering dead through Mordor.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy. Trash. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get out of that.
Okay. The
All right.
game you DNF'd.
Yes. So I got Valkyrie Elysium a few weeks ago when it came out. I think it's been like a week or two. I have not DNF'd the game so hard as I have DNF'd this game before. I gave it 2 out of 10
Welcome to my world.
in my personal score thingy that I have.
That's basically 1 star.
2 out of 10 because this game is like Square Enix's attempt at Devil May Cry, but they did it so bad. Everything looks beautiful. Everything looks incredible. The graphics in the game are amazing. Like the characters have this sort of like shine to them. Like you can tell they're CG because they're, fucking video game characters, but they have like a shine to them. And everything in the world looks incredible, but the world is so empty and so boring. And the combat is so fucking boring. You basically do like strings of square button and triangle button for your attacks, with square being light and triangle being heavy. And then you have a dodge at circle, and you have like this grappling hook in one of the triggers that you throw to pull yourselves to enemies. Which, okay, it's a good basis for an action game like Devil May Cry, but that's it. It has no depth to it. Like, the characters are not challenging. The combat feels so slow. You collect all these thousands of orbs to power up your weapons and whatnot, but there's this one particular amount of orbs that you have to get, and you don't get them because they're only given to you under special requirements. So you max out your weapons to like the base max stat that you can do, but then you can't go past that. I was so bored. Like, when I popped it in, I was excited. I'm like, oh, cool, a new Valkyrie game. I haven't played Valkyrie. I'm probably going to be excited. I started playing it, and I was falling asleep while I was playing it.
That's sad.
That's never happened to me.
That's so sad.
And I'm like, okay, maybe I did have a rough week at work, so maybe I'll try it in a few days. Maybe I'll like it. I tried it this past week. I gave it an hour and a half because I had only managed to get half an hour in. I gave it an hour and a half, and I was like, this game is shit. This game is so fucking bad. I feel like I wasted my money. And then this is where it gets funny.
The real kicker.
I took it to GameStop, right?
To trade it in.
Yeah, because I saw online that they had Tales of Arise for PlayStation 5 for $20. But the thing is that their GameStop's inventory is a whole fucking mess online, and in the app it's even worse. And sometimes you put in games and it doesn't give you trade-in value, which, whatever. Sometimes games are new enough that they don't. But when you go to the store, they actually make you an offer. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to take my PS4 Tales of Arise and, Valkyrie, trade them in, maybe pre-order Mario plus Rabbids, and, get fucking Tales of for free, basically. The dude is like, we don't even have this game in the system yet. Like, we can't make you an offer because we don't have it. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? This game's been out for like 2 weeks, and you're not even taking it and trade us it that fucking bad? Like, I was just laughing so hard. It's like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, but we got this, and then like, it's fine. I ended up paying like maybe $5 for Tales, and yesterday we took it to Cybertron, and I told you, Karen, and if they don't take this game in, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to be stuck with it. And they offered me
Forever.
$30. And I was like, I'll take $30 because this game is not even worth $2. So, Valkyrie Elysium is
pretty sad.
Hot fucking trash. Like, all the things that are good about Devil May Cry, like the combinations and moving fast and like building up combos and all that shit.
Moving fast.
Moving super fast. None of that. None of that shit.
That's pretty bad.
It's so bad. It's trash. You know what's not trash, though?
Us.
No, I'm pretty trashy. This week's sex toy.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so
I'm scared.
This one was sent
I've heard
in,
about this for like a week. What the fuck?
This one was sent in by Burger Champ. So I'm going to send it to you over Discord.
Uh-huh.
And I just give me 1 second. Here we go. It's on intro topics. So just turn it on. So this is called the Onyx Plus, and it's called A New Evolution in Interactive Masturbation.
Oh, God.
It's $220 or 4 interest-free payments of $55 with Zezel.
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 Okay.
Yes. So this thing, it's a cylindrical. It's like an
Make sure you measure yourself before you buy it.
It's a battery-powered flashlight, right? Mm-hmm. It does come with different, attachments. There's like regular sized and tight fit for those tiny wiener folks like me. Okay, so
maybe you just want it to feel really tight.
it delivers up to 140 strokes per minute.
Oh, Lord.
The third generation Onyx Plus masturbator pleasures your penis with a quieter motor than both its predecessors, and with contracting technology and full interactivity, it still manages to be a wonderful, lightweight, and perfect for traveling. What is it? A new sensory experience awaits you. The Kiro Onyx Plus is ready to bring you in touch with the internet. Onyx Plus is a lightweight male masturbator that is quite discreet and perfect to travel with. The third generation Onyx has a complete different rotating motor that goes in a continuous up and down motion, simulating intercourse. Onyx Plus can reach up to 140 strokes per minute while still maintaining a quieter motor than both of its predecessors, making the sensory experience of using Onyx Plus even more exciting. We read that before. Here we go. Connect your Kiro Onyx Plus with any Kiro device. Kiro Pearl, Kiro Onyx, Oh My Bot Fuse, Oh My Bot Esca, or any field technology enabled compatible device. You can truly feel your partner's touch in real time from anywhere in the world. If you prefer solo sessions, Kiro Onyx Plus can be paired with your favorite interactive content, erotic video, virtual reality, and webcam partner sites.
They have couple sets too.
All content on Feel Me and other interactive partnered sites are compatible. Basically, this is pulled straight out of the world of cyberpunk. You put on a movie, you attach this shit to your dick, and it goes to town on you.
I see that.
This
Good Lord.
thing sounds awesome.
Oh my God.
It does it not?
I can't. It sounds intense, that's for sure.
It does sound intense. 140 strokes. Jesus, that's. That's. I feel like that's way too much. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So with Feel Me AI, you no longer need to search for interactive content online. With a Feel Me AI subscription, you can turn on any adult content on the internet, interactive, and feel what you see in real time using your Onyx Plus. Doesn't that shit sound wild?
It doesn't have any reviews.
It doesn't? On
Not
the
that
site?
I can find.
Hey, let's see if we can find some in Amazon. Are you looking up in Amazon?
I can. Okay. One moment.
Onyx Plus Amazon. Let's see. Onyx Stone. Okay, forgot the first part. So it's Kiro.
Shit, they got whole fucking VR sets.
Yes, they do.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Oh, this one's endorsed by Lisa Ann, a porn star.
Wait, I don't see it on here.
I found it.
Oh.
Let's see here. Where are the... There's only one 4-star global rating.
4 stars.
And the person said nothing.
What?
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yep. Oh, that's sad. I'm kind of bummed. I really wanted some funny reviews out of this shit. Let me see if I can find some reviews. If not, we're going to have to buy it, and I'm going to have to make the reviews for it.
Uh-huh.
Oh, what?
I think not.
No, it looks like it's for the older ones. But here's one. 2.1 stars out of 5, 13 reviews, and it's from 5 years ago. Kiro Onyx Honest Review. This product flat out does not work unless I received a defective unit. I was excited that I found this product, then extremely disappointed when the product functioned so poorly. For the cost and the beautiful design, I expected the product to rate very good or excellent. If not for the beautiful design of the Kiro Onyx, it wouldn't deserve that 1 star. Wow. It doesn't really say anywhere else if it's worth buying or like whatnot. It said it's good for edging. Which...
2 stars sounded good, but meh. Maybe for guys who like a different stroke. Not really worth
Gary
the money.
Okay, I like a good male masturbator as much as the next guy, but I'm not a fan of sticking my dick in low quality devices.
Oh my gosh.
The last time I did that, I ended up in the hospital for 3 days.
For 3 days.
Yes, I would like to know that story. The moral of the story is that it's important to use high-end products when pleasuring yourself or others. Unfortunately, there are thousands of toys available, and you can't exactly try them out before you buy them. So all the risk falls on the customer to decide wisely. That, my friends, is why reviews like these are important. I decided to try the new Kiro Onyx Plus because it has been gaining a lot of attention lately, and considering how many perfect good penises are at stake here, I knew I had to test out that fucking sentence. And considering how many perfectly good penises there are at stake here.
I can't.
Let me see. At this point, my dick and I have been through just about anything. We can handle it. Yeah, so it sounds like the Onyx Kiro. The Kiro Onyx Plus is like nothing else in the market today, with instinctive features, convenient ergonomics, and simplified technology. Overall, I think it makes a great addition to any growing sex toy collection. Now I just have to convince my girlfriend to share. You can find more information and buy it at the official website. So, it looks like it's good. Looks like it's fun. So, this was a good submission in by Burger Champ.
It looks like a T10 or something.
You should request one of these for your Bookstagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that you can use it on your Bookstagram.
Well, they have female ones that you can all link up on the app for when you're apart. So I can control yours and you can control mine.
That would have been great when I was truck driving.
Right?
Yeah.
But no more of that.
No, we were poor then. We're still poor. Mm-hmm. All right. So are you ready to get in some book talk?
I am ready.
All right. This is Book Talk.
This week's book is The Liminal Zone by Junji Ito. It was published not that long ago on July 26th of 2022 by Viz Media. And I am drinking, so if I slur my speech, forgive me. But my husband told me to drink, so here we are.
I'm drinking too.
Yes. This one published fairly recently, and there's actually an afterword from Ito basically saying that he was working on this in the pandemic, which I thought was interesting. Did you read that whole thing?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
I did.
I didn't read the whole thing.
So he wrote the stories for Line app. I've heard of it, but I've never looked at it.
It's like a serial thing.
It's like an online, like, original manga content stuff, or where they could submit like mangas and shit. But he was partnered, and they offered him like, "Hey, write for us, and we'll feature you." But yeah.
Cool.
So yeah.
So this one is really short, and it's once again multiple short stories, but these are not linked in any way that I noticed, at least.
No, they're
right?
not. They're just straight up just what's it called? Stories. He says so at the end. He's like, "Oh, it's just ideas that I had that never got fleshed out."
Yeah. So I think I liked all of them. I don't think I disliked any of them. I liked some more than others. The first one is really good. It's about a weeping woman or weeping women, and how like weeping women are a tradition. It used to be a tradition. Like you would hire this woman who's really good at crying and sobbing to come to a funeral.
Yeah.
And
Cry
show
for the
that.
departed.
Yeah, exactly. And like this guy and his fiance are just on a trip, and they stumble upon a funeral because they hear this woman crying, and they find out about weeping women, and she winds up becoming a weeping woman. Their lives are ruined. It's pretty freaky.
That one was pretty good. I really, really like that one. I feel like that was a strong open. I feel like the first two stories are very good. The other two are just not that good. Not as good.
But there were 3 more. Only 2 more?
There's 4 stories.
4 stories? Okay.
Yes. So it's that one.
Madonna.
The Madonna.
the forest
Yes,
and slumber.
yeah, I didn't care for that.
That was weird.
I actually had an idea for a book like that, but Junji Ito already wrote it.
Like
so,
slumber?
Yeah.
Oh, that's lame.
But instead of it being asleep, it's deaths. So it's
What?
I'll explain it later in case
Okay.
somebody wants to steal it.
Okay. Okay. And then so the Madonna story, I forgot that like the Madonna was a way to refer to
The Virgin Mary.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like Madonna like a virgin and the pointy titties. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. I
Yeah.
know. No. Continue.
Obviously I knew it wasn't Madonna, but that one was freaky. I was afraid there was going to be some rape in that story.
Me too.
I was
for a
like,
second.
they're going to get raped. Flipping a page. Oh, there's going to be rape.
There was pedophilia in it. So,
Lots of it. Lots of it.
Yep.
It was weird. I didn't know where that one was going at first.
I did not either.
Because there's like lots of salt biblical shit, like turning into pillars of salt and stuff, and Virgin Mary, obviously. It was freaky. Very freaky. But I'm glad that it didn't end like horrifically as most of his stories do, because the main character lives, I guess.
My thing is like, of course, Junji Ito is gonna kill everyone before the conclusion comes. So then, when the main character survives, nobody believes them.
True. Yeah, that's how it ends. Nobody believed me, but this is what happened. Oh my gosh. And it was just weird. Like the one, I don't know, so many biblical references, like a body hanging off of a cross and weird stuff.
The Virgin Mary statue crying blood. That's very,
The
very
creepy
prominent.
pedophile telling many, many women over many, many years that they were the Virgin Mary. Like, oh, that one wasn't the real one, but you are. So many.
Yeah. Like that when he was telling the girl that she was, that just felt like forced. Like, no,
You don't
she's
say.
not. Like, everybody's like, no, she's not.
And you're going to convince her that she's going to she's going to have to become a virgin mother by letting you fuck her. Letting her fuck you. Wait, no, letting you fuck her. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alcohol. Brain.
Copperberg.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
The forest.
Oh God, that one sucked.
Are we still talking about Madonna?
The forest sucked. I
thought it was an interesting link to an interesting story about something that actually happened. Well, with the YouTuber part.
Oh, Lord.
Not the rest of it. Not spirits licking people and giving them blowjobs and shit. It was weird. Parts of it was super weird. Okay, so I'm just gonna spoil the hell out of this story because I have theories. Not theories.
They licked the shit out of the trees. The trees were so licked that they were white.
Okay, I'm gonna spoil this whole story.
Yeah.
What's the name of that forest? What's it
it's
called?
the Suicide Forest in Japan at the base of Mount Fuji.
Yes.
Where Logan Paul went and was a complete fucking shithead.
Yes. Because wasn't he like filming bodies and making fun of them?
Yeah.
That's so fucked up. Anyway.
He needs to get his ass beat.
Maybe no, I'm not going to say that. Never mind. Maybe a chupacabra will come eat him.
Oh, I hope so. Just leave him dangling, like mangled from
Oh, God.
a light post.
Okay, anyway, so this guy wants to die, and his
Do an episode on
girlfriend.
the chupacabra. That would be
I can't.
fun.
Okay, this guy wants to die, and his girlfriend's gonna go into the forest to die with him, and they wind up seeing a light, and it turns out that it's a spirit flow. So it's like all the spirits flowing through the forest at night, y'all. This shit reminded me of what's the name of the thing? God, I've only had 2 of these things and I'm fucked up. No, the channel in the ocean in Nemo where the turtles are. What's the channel?
I don't know.
You
But
know
yes,
what I'm talking
everybody
about?
knows what you're talking
yeah,
about.
okay. When Crash is like, dude, yeah.
The riptides?
Yeah, well, no, the channel.
rip currents.
The channel.
I don't know the channel.
The
Okay,
Great
continue.
Atlantic Channel or something like that. The Great Australian Channel. They're through the water. Okay, so that's what it reminded me of because they're just whooping through the forest all together like little sea turtles. And the guy winds up like going into jumping into
so you
it.
missed that he was going into the forest to kill himself because he was terminal.
Well, yeah, I
And
forgot
his
that
girlfriend
part.
was
gonna
gonna
die with him.
Yes.
Because they didn't want to be apart.
Yeah.
And so he goes into this spirit flow thing. I can't remember if he did it intentionally or if it was an accident.
He's like, if I'm gonna die, at least I want to die with the spirits. They can take me to the underworld.
Yeah. Well, little did he know that the spirits were just going to lick him. He's like, it felt amazing. It was the most wonderful I've ever felt in my whole life. And
they show him the next morning holding onto a tree, licked.
Yes.
He's like, all licked.
Yes. And one of the panels does show the spirits flying by and you can kind of see his outline in them. And they're like tongues or like Gene Simmons tongues, just like flailing off of their faces. But he starts losing his clothes bit by bit because the spirits are licking his clothes off of him. All the tongues whacking him are making his clothes fall off in tatters. Well, then this other guy winds up coming into the forest and he meets him and he's like, oh, we need to go into the spirit flow together. And they start losing their clothes together. And girlfriend's like, who's this? What are you doing? And they're like, oh, well, this dude wanted to die too, so we're just going into the spirit flow together. And they're climbing trees and jumping into the spirit flow, getting all licked and shit, until eventually they're in some Britney Spears booty short and crop top because their clothes have been licked off so much. Then they're naked and she's just like, oh, this is weird. Why are you naked? And they're like, our form is so much prettier than yours. Look at how ugly her body is because she hasn't been licked by the spirits. And they glow and they're super skinny. They look kind of look like Gumby, like a blonde Play-Doh person.
My favorite part of that whole thing was, oh, we're so slender now. Maybe the spirits lick the fat off of us. You know, like when you have a lollipop and you lick it so much that it gets skinny.
Yes. And then they start basically having sex at one point. They're
Without having
licking each
sex?
other. Yeah, you never see their genitals, just their butt cracks.
They're like, oh, your body's so sexy. Yours is sexy too.
Yeah, let me touch it. And then a YouTuber comes to the forest and he goes into a cave where the spirit flow comes out of. And he comes out of the cave all whacked out. And he's like, dude, what does he say? Streamlined! Oh, streamlined! And everybody's just like, what?
Yeah. They were like, what? And then they're like, let's not explore what he was talking about. Let's leave.
But they do wind up, well, no. Okay, so they jump into the spirit flow again, and homegirl's mad that she's not being included, so she goes into the spirit flow too.
Are you belittling me? And she jumps into it.
She jumps in, and then the spirit flow's gone. And she's gone. They're like, oh, we got to find her. So they go into the cave where Streamlined came out of, all fucked up in the head. And she's in a pool, dead and shit.
She wasn't dead. She was all stretched out.
Yeah, she was streamlined. Along with the rest of the spirits. And isn't that how it ends? I can't remember.
Then another spirit flow comes out, and instead of running, they're like, oh, she says, oh, you guys are too afraid to get streamlined.
Oh,
they show
she's better
the
than
stretched
them
out humans, and
because she's streamlined.
Yeah, and she's like, this is the perfect
human
form. Perfection. If you don't like it, then fuck off.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It was really weird.
That was so stupid. I hated that one so much. It wasn't even creepy or anything. It was just upsetting.
It was weird.
Now the last one.
It didn't feel like it fit.
The last one?
Yeah.
Those two didn't feel like it.
Well, no,
fit.
the forest one felt like it fit better than this last one. It still didn't fit, but it fit better.
It had a very Junji Ito ending. It did,
I guess.
But so basically, it's this person thinks he's killing people.
He thinks he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
Because he has a dream every night and then wakes up and sees on the news.
He doesn't have a dream.
No?
He goes to sleep, and when he wakes up, because the whole point of the story is when you wake up, you don't remember anything. And then your memories start coming in.
Yeah.
So that was the whole idea. He woke up completely blissful, no worries about anything. Then the memories would just stop coming in, and the memories that would stop coming in is of people getting killed.
Right.
And that's
right.
like the whole point of it. And he just starts remembering like all this shit. Then in the end, it turns out he goes into the wrong apartment. It's just that one was. It wasn't even funny.
It was
just,
weird.
Yeah, like very out of place. Like when Junji Ito in the foreword said afterward, he said these were just ideas that I had written down years ago and had never built upon. I believe it.
Makes sense.
Those two were not good.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was spectacular. The second one was really good. The other two were off.
Wonky.
Even though all of that we just said, I really liked the book. It was a 4.5 for me.
Same.
Yep.
Same.
It was very, very.
Those first two stories were solid enough to carry the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I really didn't dislike the fourth one until now when we're talking about it. And I realized how fucking stupid it was. Streamlined.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, that was a hoot.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next two Junji Itos we read. So, this was fun, but I want more.
At least it was short. Yeah.
I want gorier or creepier or whatever. Like last week's. Last week's was pretty good. All right, so I guess it's time for games and stuff.
I think so.
All right, this is games and stuff. So for this week's game, we have Castlevania Circle of the Moon. Let me see here what Wikipedia says. All right, so this is a Metroidvania game for the Game Boy Advance. It was released in North America on June 11th, 2001. And I have thoughts about this game. And I kind of feel the same way I did about it when I was a little kid. So basically in this game, I think this is considered canon to Castlevania.
You think?
I think. I'm not 100% sure because I don't really follow the canon thing. Because the thing is that the main character of the game is not a Belmont. Almost all of the Castlevania games that start a Belmont are canon or have a Belmont in it are canon except for the original Game Boy ones. In this one, you play as Nathan Graves. He does have the legendary vampire killer. That is the weapon that the Belmonts use to kill Dracula. But he is just a holder of the vampire killer. He's not an heir to the vampire killer, which is how he would unlock the full power of it and how he would be able to whip Dracula to death. Vampire killer.
Whack him.
Just whip the shit out of him.
Over and over and over.
Okay, so let's see here. Let's see what the plot says. Taking place in 1830, Circle of the Moon is set in one of the fictional universes of the Castlevania series. The premise of the original series is the eternal conflict between the vampire hunters of the Belmont clan and the immortal vampire Dracula. Circle of the Moon's protagonist, however, is Nathan Graves, whose parents died a decade ago to banish Dracula. Morris Baldwin, who helped in Dracula's banishment, trained him to defeat Dracula and the monsters. Morris ultimately chose him as his successor and gave him the Hunter Whip, to the displeasure of Hugh, Morris's son, who trained alongside him. So there's this whole conflict of, my daddy chose you, but I'm better than you, throughout the whole game.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. When I first played this game was probably back in 2001. I remember my cousin lent it to me. And
shit, that was a long time ago.
That was a very long time ago.
You were like 10.
11.
11.
Yeah, 11.
I was like 10.
Yeah. I hated this game back then. I really, really did not like this game.
Why?
It's hard. Out of the 3 Game Boy Advance Castlevania games, this is the hardest. I also feel like this is the weakest in the series, in the 3 Game Boy Advance games. The best one being, obviously, Aria of Sorrow. So there's a couple of things that about the game that stand out. The first one is that there is I believe it's called the DSS system. It is a card system where you find cards by killing monsters, and those cards give you certain abilities. Like, you can do a card combination and you would have a fire sword, or a rose sword, or an ice sword, or an electric sword, or tonfas, or martial arts. There's another one that would put electricity or fire or flowers onto your whip. And then there's the one that I used that raises your attack by 34%. So I was doing plus 34% damage every time that I hit somebody with the whip. I feel like the game is very stiff. It feels super stiff, kind of like the old Castlevania games, but in a more modern Metroidvania-ish type of way. So it does work, but it feels old and dated, and it doesn't feel very fun. I really didn't like this game growing up. I like it a little bit more now. I feel like the game is very difficult because of one thing, and that is knockback.
Knockback.
Yes. So knockback is when you get hit by something and your character gets knocked back.
Oh.
And then when they land, they take a while to get up.
Oh.
In this game is very, very pronounced. I noticed that Aria of Sorrow has it, which we're going to cover in a future episode. But this game has it in an excessive way. Like, I felt that every time I got hit, it was just fucking brutal. On top of that, Nathan feels like he's made out of paper because they do a lot of damage every time he gets hurt. So I also didn't realize that this game was a little bit on the longer side. It took me 5 hours and 6 minutes to finish it.
Yeah, I kept having to bother you to fucking finish so you could read the damn book.
Oh, no, that was next week's game. That's Aria.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I finished this game like 2 weeks ago. No, a week ago.
Then you didn't have to sit there and finish the other one today.
Because I did, because I got stuff to do.
Uh-huh.
So I did 5 hours and 6 minutes, and I got about 90.7% of the map completed. Because they give you a percentage based on how much of the map you complete. And I was so fucking over this game that I just wanted it to end. There is a cool thing about this game now because the Castlevania Advanced Collection came out on modern consoles. There's kind of like a tracker on the collection itself that you can use. And there's a bunch of cool features that made beating this game a whole lot easier. The first thing is that whenever you attack an enemy that would drop a card, you would get a little pop-up on the screen with the notification that a card can be dropped by this enemy. Mm-hmm. So basically, you have to keep spamming killing that same enemy in order to get the card eventually. So if you had already gotten the card and any other enemy would drop that card, whenever you attack them, it would tell you, you already have this card, but this enemy drops this card. So that's pretty cool. That actually made the whole grind thing a whole lot easier. The other cool thing is that the collection has this feature where you can rewind the game. So if you do something and you fuck up royally, you can just rewind and unfuck it.
Nice.
Which is it's great because I used it to beat every boss that I went into. So I would beat every boss with no damage just because I would keep rewinding. And the shit problem is that I was so underleveled and so weak. I finished this game at level 36 because it does have a leveling system. And I think like to beat it comfortably, you have to be like in the 40s or 50s. And so I beat it at level 36. And it's because I would fight bosses that I was way too weak for. And I would hit them and do damage and I would do like 30 points of damage. And the boss would have like 1,600 points of damage to take off of. So I would be there for a very long time, just whipping and rewinding and whipping and rewinding. But I got it done. And to tell you the truth, that made it a whole lot more enjoyable. Because if I would have had to go this game straight like I did back in the day, and I beat it back in the day straight, that would not have been fun at all. It would have been awful. And there's not to say that the game doesn't look good. It does look good because it kind of does. It does look kind of like 8-bit, but mixed with Super Nintendo colors. So the characters look very minimal. The sprite work is very not detailed, but you can tell what everything is. But it has a very nice color palette. So everything's very vibrant, very nice looking. It just has a it looks good, but it's kind of an odd look when you compare it to the other two Game Boy Advance games, especially the second one. I think the second one looks the best, even though Aria is my favorite. Overall, it's worth playing if you're a Castlevania fan, or if you want to see what Castlevania is, or if you want to experience a Metroidvania that's hard, because I feel like the other two Metroid-inspired Castlevania games aren't hard. This one would give you a decent challenge.
And you want vampires.
And in the end, you fight Dracula, a very handsome Dracula at that.
Oh.
Yes, let me look
Not
up.
the Gary Oldman Dracula.
No,
then.
not the Gary Oldman Dracula.
That one's not very handsome, let me tell you.
Let me see. Dracula, Circle of the Moon. Let me see if I can find an image. He is a very handsome-looking motherfucker. So that's him.
Oh.
Yeah.
He has a very fancy outfit.
Yes, he is. I see
Is he
here.
up yonder?
No, he's not.
No.
No. No, that's Dracula X. That's not him. So this is his final form in the last battle. You
He
see
looks
it right
like
there?
Zurg.
So he's giant purple, has worms coming out of his butt,
Ew.
has a giant eyeball. Here's a nice portrait of him.
Oh,
See?
lovely.
Very handsome.
Yes.
It took me like 40 minutes to beat that final fight because I was so underleveled, and he would like do that giant monster, then turn into bats and fly around, and you would have to hit the eyeball in between the bats.
Ew.
And the bats would cause a lot of damage, so I had like a tiny bit of damage, so every time they would hit me I would die, so I would have to restart. And I was thinking to myself, like, if this game had any sort of AI, it would know that being the eyeball with the bat wings does way more damage than him turning into the giant monster, because in the giant monster form he just swoops at you and you can just evade that attack.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I feel, I'm going to be honest. So I gave this game a 6 out of 10, which is exactly what I gave Dragon Quest VIII, Journey of the Cursed King. If I had to pick between the two which one to play, I would play Dragon Quest. Because I feel like Dragon Quest, even though it's slower and it had a bunch of things that annoyed me, this one is way less fun than Dragon Quest. So Dragon Quest is
Drac
better.
will be happy
Yes,
that
he
you
will.
said that.
Dragon Quest VIII is better than Circle of the Moon.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Even though I never played Dragon Quest, and Circle of the Moon was a very forming game in my childhood. Showed me that I hated Metroidvanias until Aria of Sorrow, and I loved Aria of Sorrow, and that changed everything. Yeah, that's it for now. Do you want to go into garbage?
Yes, I'm ready for Give Me the Garbage, since you don't let me say Give Me the Garbage anymore.
Do you want to say it?
Give me the garbage.
Do it right.
All right, that's Give Me the Garbage. This week's restaurant is something I don't really know how to say. Taqueria Las Cazuelas.
Yes, Las Cazuelas.
Las Cazuelas.
Yes.
My husband discovered this place one day when he was getting his car fixed.
Yep.
Because it's next door. And he decided to walk over and get him some tacos. Mm-hmm. Yep. So he's been trying to get me to go back there ever since then. That was like in May.
No, I think it was before that.
It wasn't when you got the big fix on the car?
Maybe. No, the Puerto Ricans were still working at Pep Boys. After that, they've changed like 5.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's been a while then.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute because you got the car big fixed after we got our tax return, right?
One of the big fixes.
The big fix that you did this year.
No, it was definitely before that.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the Puerto Rican dude was still working there, and yeah, he gave me really good prices.
Now it's all old white men who charge a butt ton of money. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they don't work with you.
It sucks.
So we're never going back there again.
That's why we're going to go only to Abdel, our best friend.
Yep. Anyways, continue.
Yes, so you've been trying to get me to go there ever since you went there that one day with the car. So we finally went because he wanted tacos. And this
That
place
worked for me.
is a hole in the wall a hole in the wall. Their logo outside doesn't really make it look like it's a hole in the wall, but then you get up to the door, it's like it's a hole in the wall.
Yep. There's like 3 tables, 1 counter, space for
A
people
self-service water station.
Yep. Which I love. I wish more restaurants had that.
Yeah. Like a Sapporo.
Like Sapporo used to do.
Not Sapporo anymore, but they actually still have it.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't been there in a while.
No, we haven't. It's been like more than a year.
Yep.
But yeah, it's nice because like when you're eating hot, spicy stuff and you're dying, it's nice to not have to wait.
As fuck and you think you're gonna throw up.
Yeah, that too. Nice not having to wait. You can go get your own water.
Yep.
But they were baby cups.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I feel like they have kind of a limited menu, but they still have like your typical stuff like fajitas and flautas and chimichangas and burritos. So I got a chimichanga. And you get to choose what kind of meat you get in it. And you got like a million options. I chose chorizo because why would you ever choose anything other than chorizo? Well,
their chorizo is actually really, really good.
I do think that I need to get chorizo only when it's like smaller things. Because like a huge chimichanga full of chorizo, that's a lot.
That was a lot of chorizo.
That's a lot of sodium. Well, it is. I gotta think about shit like that.
It is.
Cause look at me.
No gallbladder.
Well, no, it's not the gallbladder. That's not even gallbladder. But yeah, so I got a chorizo chimichanga and we saw that they had cheese dip. I'm like, fuck yeah, we gotta have cheese dip.
Cheese dip was so good.
And you said it was real cheese dip because it formed a skin. Yes.
And the skin wouldn't melt once you dropped it in.
Yeah, exactly. There was just a huge chunk in the middle.
Oh, God, it was so
It was
good.
a little funky, but it was good.
It was very good.
It was different. Like, I don't know if you're really, really white and used to a certain kind of cheese dip. I don't know if you would like this, but I did.
It was,
my chimichanga was smothered in it.
Wasn't it a little bit spicy too? No,
not really. But I
have
also feel
some
like
peppers in it.
Well, I also feel like you and I have a different definition of spicy because, like,
no, I don't want to say spicy. I want to say like a sing, like a little
I
touch.
guess. I just think about things that we say are not spicy, and then people eat it. And it's like, oh, this is spicy.
I know
like Melissa with the sandwich. Like, they're not spicy peppers.
They are a little bit spicy.
She said it was a little too spicy.
Maybe she might have gotten a pepper with seeds in it.
Maybe. I don't know. You even have a different definition of spicy than I do.
Sometimes what's way too spicy for you is actually good for me, and sometimes what's not good for me, it's good for you.
Yeah.
Like mango habanero.
Oh, man. Nope. I could bathe in it. No. Oh, my God. It's so good. Oh!
Okay, so continue.
Yeah. Chimichanga.
What was the chimichanga stuff?
It was a massive honker of a chimichanga. It was so big.
It was kind of like your forearm.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, almost.
You saying my forearm's fat?
I'm saying your forearm is chimichanga length.
Yeah.
Lengthened.
It was like this big around. And it was like this long. Yeah, so it was smothered in cheese. It was chorizo and rice and beans and lettuce.
Sour cream? There was something white inside of it.
Probably. I think so. And then I just kept getting more of the queso that we hadn't eaten and eating it with that. It got to the point, though, where I was just raking the stuffing out of it and eating it that way because it was so much food. It was so much food. And for $10, I mean, that was a huge fucking meal.
Yeah, it was.
And it didn't come with any sides, right? It didn't need to. It was massive. Massive.
I had 8 tacos.
You did.
2 chorizo.
Actually, you had 6 tacos.
Yeah, I had 6 tacos.
Anyway.
2 chorizo, 2 tongue, 2
cheek
carnitas. No, there weren't any cheek.
Oh.
And 2 pastor, right?
Yeah,
that's 6.
I think.
That's 8. The pastor has really nice chunks of pineapple, which I like, but it's way dry. And they double tortilla them, which is normal. But I feel like the meat is so dry that it just ends up making the tortilla feel even drier. Which I think might be part of why I was feeling so nauseous.
Yeah.
The lengua was incredible. It was meaty. It was delicious. It had, like nice juiciness to it. I love the lengua. It did leave that coppery taste afterwards, like, heavy blood vessel things do.
Ew.
It was really good. I really liked it. The chorizo was fantastic. Their chorizo is probably one of the best chorizos around.
It was very good.
It is very good chorizo. Their carnitas, fatty, good, well done. What else am I missing? So I got
The big old chunks of onion. The big old onion stalks.
Oh yeah. You can get green onions with it, cebollines. So they grill green onions with like the whole bulb and everything, and then you just eat that with your tacos.
Massive.
And their hot sauce was really good. I got the medium sauce. It was very acidic, very nice.
They have lots of sauces you
lovely.
can choose from.
They do have a lot of sauces to choose from. Problem is, I also had
agua fresca.
A mango agua fresca, which was really good.
It was disgusting.
They Mexicans like to have their mango a little bit green.
Yeah, they do.
I'm not a big fan of green mango, but in an
chunky.
agua fresca, it's very, very good. So that was really good agua fresca. Problem is, we had gone with our friends out the night before, so I had a couple beers, and it looks like I didn't hydrate enough. So while I was eating, every time I would put a taco in my mouth, I would get nauseous.
I thought he was gonna puke in the middle of the restaurant.
There was a point where I thought I was going to puke. Like I had to force myself to eat, because I hate that feeling when you have food in your mouth and it's good, but it's making you nauseous and want to throw up. So
that doesn't happen that often.
No,
that's not normal.
It hasn't happened to me in a very long time. So I forced 6 tacos down, brought the other 2 home, heated them up in the oven. They were still good. I really like this place. I think next time when we go, I'm just going to get chorizo tacos because they're so fucking good. But yeah, what do you think?
I thought it was delicious. I don't think it was garbage, but it was good.
It was almost garbage for me.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah? You give it an almost garbage? Feel comfortable with that?
That's fair.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not, mine was expensive.
You ordered too much.
Because my tacos were like
and your
$2.50 each.
freaking drink.
And my drink was like $4.
Those always cost a fortune.
Yeah, but they're so good, though.
A fortune.
Last time I got Jamaica, I think Jamaica's a flower. And that is not good because it kind of tastes like grape juice that's gone bad.
Oh.
It's really nasty.
Oh, the place, my new boss took me out to lunch, me and another coworker, to this taco place. I don't think we'll ever review it. But they have agua fresca, whatever. But they have it next to the fountain drinks to self-serve, and every single one of them just says no refill. I'm like, y'all are idiots if you really think people are not going to get refills of this stuff. They had a bunch of different options, but I was honest. I didn't get any of it. I had lemonade.
Agua fresca de limón?
I don't remember.
Was it agua fresca lemon?
I don't.
Lemon agua fresca?
No, it was lemonade. It was Minute Maid.
They make agua fresca de limón, which is basically just lemonade.
Yeah, I mean, why would you even call it agua fresca at that point?
Yeah, it's just lemonade.
Bless it.
So, anything else you want to say?
I don't think so.
All right. So, are you ready to say goodbye then?
I suppose.
Do you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.